What's going on, everybody? Spaceballs here. Welcome back to another Kingdom of Heroes video. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about rune management and debuffs. Now, I would have made this video sooner, but like I told you guys the other day, I kind of overlook a lot of this stuff because I've been playing gacha games for like 10 plus years. So I've been kind of going back and thinking what I used to struggle with when I started these gacha games. And I wanted to kind of put this stuff into videos for you guys. Just because I understand something doesn't mean you guys are going to understand it the same way. Because maybe some of you guys are new to gacha games. You know, maybe this is your first gacha game. So I wanted to kind of go back and look over stuff, things that I might not have, went over in the beginner's guide. So today we're going to be talking about debuffs and rune management. First thing we'll do here is we'll go over the rune management system. Now, I've already went over like how to rune your champs, flat stats versus regular stats. And a quick side note here about flat stats. They are definitely going to be super useful on your 3 and most of your 4-star heroes. I've been doing some testing on it, and I can tell you like 95% of the time on your 3-star heroes, flat 6-star runes are probably going to be better than most percentage runes. I'm going to make a clear video on this very soon. I've just been doing a lot of research and testing because I want to make sure I know the exact numbers and what I'm talking about when I put that video up. But I encourage you guys to keep your flat stats for now. If you have any 3-star heroes, stick them on them and then put a, percentage rune on that 3-star and you will see what I'm talking about. But for today, we're going to go over the rune management system really fast. And then we're going to go over debuffs and where they are most useful. So first thing with rune management is you have the rank up here. And what this does is it separates your rank, your main stats, your secondary stats. So if you're looking for something specific on a specific stat, this is how you kind of, rank your runes from top to bottom. So then we have this arrow here. And as you can see, when I click it, it'll show me my most recent runes that I've got. As you can see, I've been farming F11 like crazy. I'm going to put a video out on that soon. Then if I click it again, it'll show me my runes that I have powered up from highest to lowest. Then over here on this left side, you got this little funnel cup, it looks like a martini glass. So you click that, and then this is kind of how you sort through all of your runes. And now my main reason for going over this really quickly is because someone on the Twitch chat the other day, I was selling my runes by stars, and they were like, wait, how did you just do that? I had no idea you can do that. And that's when I kind of realized, again, that a lot of you guys are new to this stuff, and you're probably not going to know about, a lot of this. So I feel it's important for me to graze over it in these videos. So what you can do here is you can click normal, magic, rare. You can click them all, and then it'll show you all these specific runes. Same thing with the stars. And same thing with the sets, and then same thing with the slots. Actually very simple to understand. So let's say you want a 6-star attack percentage rune. So you want to make sure everything is unclicked. So you're going to go to 6-star. Let's say you want it for slot 2. You're going to click slot 2. Early game, you're probably not going to look for a specific set because like I always tell you guys, it's stats over sets. So we're going to look at all the sets here. We're not just going to click one specific set. And then we're going to go to custom filter. And now with the custom filter, this is actually so awesome, and I love that this game has this so early on. So you can click main stats, we can go attack percentage, then we can go secondary stat. So let's say you want a crit rate on it, you can click crit rate. Let's say you wanted speed, you can click speed. Now this is only going to show you the runes that have attack percentage, crit rate, and speed. So if you don't have any of these, you're not going to see any runes, and that's why you're not seeing runes. It's because you don't have them with these specific stats. So that means you just have to broaden the search if you can't find any runes with these stats on them. And we're going to leave this from 0 to 15 because some of the runes we're probably not going to have powered up, some we will. But we want to make sure we leave the search as broad as possible. And then we're going to click apply. And as you can see, we have no runes that match these conditions. And I did that on purpose just to show you that sometimes it's better to keep your search as broad as possible. So now we'll go back here. We're going to go back to the custom filter on the bottom. We're going to take off crit rate. And we're going to take off speed. We're going to put all, and we're going to put all. And then we're going to click apply. And now we have one slot 2, attack percentage, 6-star rune. And that is this one here. And that's pretty much it for the rune filter. I just wanted to give you a quick, little overview on it just so you understand it. I feel like a lot of people don't realize how in-depth you can get with this. You can also sell all your runes at once by going like this. So let's open this up here. Let's click all, go to the filter, and put all. This is how you keep it open so it shows every one of your runes. Now let's say I wanted to sell all of my 4 or 5-star runes. I would click up here on this martini glass. I would click 5 stars, 4 stars, click apply. Now you can see it's showing all of my 4 and 5-star runes. I already sold all of my 4-star runes because I just didn't need them anymore. I'm just doing this to show you as an example. I would click sell. Then I would click this all button over here on the left. I'm not going to click it because I don't want to take the chance of selling all of my 5-star runes. Not yet. Anyways, eventually I probably will. I click all, and then it will sell every single 5-star rune I have. It goes for every single one of them. And let's say you're farming campaign, and you have a bunch of 1, 2, and 3-star runes. You don't have to sit here and click each one of them. You could just go up here to the martini glass, click 3-star runes, or 1, 2, and 3. Go down there on the bottom, click sell, click all, and it will sell all of those, 1 through 3-star runes for you. Makes it very easy. I love the rune management system in this game. It is so amazing. But now let's get into some debuffs here. Now, when you just start the game and you're doing a little bit of TOA, a little bit of arena, and a little bit of campaign, like your first week into the game, you don't really need to worry about debuffs too much. But the one thing you want to note and keep an eye out for is stuff like attack down, speed slow, continuous damage, and defense break. So you kind of want to make sure you're building some heroes that have these debuffs. And the best way for you to figure this out as you're playing the game is to go to your codex. And then you're going to click detailed search. And once you click detailed search, which I didn't realize a lot of people didn't know about this either. So that's another reason I want to go over some of these buffs and debuffs. Now I know I said debuffs, but we can also go over buffs quickly too. I don't want to make this video too long and too, dragged out, but I do want to go over some of them and the important ones that you will need early and mid game. So first thing here is we have debuffs. So like I said, we have attack down, we have reduced mobility, and we have reduced speed. Now the difference between these two is very simple. Reduced speed means it's slowing down your attack gauge. Reduced mobility means it's tying you down and you can't move, tiles, spaces, whatever you want to call them. It puts chains around the hero and he cannot move from that tile for however many turns the reduced mobility is for. And reduced speed means the attack gauge is going to progress slower. Both of them are really, really good debuffs and very strong early through late game. Now, early game, when you're breaking into, F8 through F11, TOA, arena, the most important ones you're going to be looking for is attack down, reduced speed, reduced mobility, continuous damage, reduced defense, and heal block for some situations, and stuns. Stun is not as important in PvE as it is in PvP, but you do want to keep an eye out for it, and if a unit has it, it wouldn't be a bad thing. Now let's say you want to build a unit with these debuffs, but you don't know what units have these debuffs, or you don't know what units you have in your box that have these debuffs. You can click reduce attack, and then as you see on the left hand side, it shows all of my units that have reduced attack. As you can see, we have Afrit, we have Jahara, we have Nyixa, and it goes all the way down the list here. So now let's say I want reduced attack and speed slow. Now this is the only person that has that, but if I take off reduced attack, then you will see all of these other options here on the left. And that goes same for reduced mobility, same for continuous damage, and pretty much all the way down the list. Pretty much here when you first start the game, for your first month or so into the game, the primary debuffs you want to look for is reduced defense, reduced attack, reduced speed, reduced mobility, continuous damage, and stun. Glancing is not a bad thing, but I wouldn't just build something for glancing. And HP block is actually going to be really good for the rune dungeons because the bosses do heal. So this is actually really good to have, especially for F8 through F11. The dragon heals for a big amount, so it's actually good to have this as you get through the later stages. I mean, once you start speed nuking it, obviously you won't need heal block as much, but early game it's definitely good to have in your arsenal. And continuous damage is actually going to be really, really important early game because this is where you're going to be getting most of your damage from, because your units are kind of going to hit like wet noodles until you get really good runes. So it's definitely good to have a bunch of continuous damage on your team. That's why Thea is so good early game. Lucifer, Valkyrie, they are so good because they have so much continuous damage in their kits. So they are dishing out so much damage And attack down is another really important one because this will stop you from taking a ton of damage. So if you have a bunch of squishy units because your runes aren't good enough, this will protect you and pretty much give you like half the amount of damage over the battle that you would have taken without reduced attack. Now, as far as buffs go early game, increased attack's always good to have. Same thing, you click it, it's going to show you all of your units that have increased attack. Same thing with increased speed, increased mobility. This is pretty much the same thing I was just talking about. Increased speed means it's going to increase your attack gauge. Increased mobility means it's going to make you move more, tiles. Invincibility, that speaks for itself. You can't take any damage at all. Shield usually works off of HP. So let's say we click on Morgan here, and she has the shield. So when she does damage, she gains a shield for 10% of max HP. So the more HP Morgan has, the bigger shield she's going to get. And that pretty much goes for all of these shielding units. Now, revive, there's only one revive in this game right now, and that is on Isit. So you're not going to worry about this too much. Stealth, I haven't really dealt with it too much myself yet. I don't know how good it is or how bad it is. It sounds like it would be good, but I think you can get hit by an AoE. So it might not be that effective. Maybe in some PvP late game, we will check out the stealth, but I wouldn't worry about stealth early to mid game. Increased defense is actually very important early game, especially because in these dungeons, these bosses are going to be doing huge damage. So it's always good to have an increased defense on your team. Increased crit rate, I wouldn't worry about this. If a unit has it, awesome. If not, great. Then you can rune your units with less crit rate, and that will help you in other stats. Debuff immunity, another great one. Vivian is probably the best Nat 5 healer in the game because she has debuff immunity. Then you got Reyna, you got Vista. Actually, a lot of people sleep on Vista. She has debuff immunity and an AoE speed slow. So she actually is really, really good. Then we got reflect damage, which is my man Amin. This guy is so good. He's going to be so good in altar content because he reflects damage. So he's going to be putting back so much damage to the boss. And he's so good for TOA because he can't be one-shot because of this passive. He can only take 35% damage. He can never be hit for more than that. So it makes him really, really effective in some of those hard TOA boss floors when they're kind of one-shotting your units. He will be able to soak up the damage and then heal himself. So he is really effective, but not that important. Like, yes, for some cases it is, but it's not a buff that you're actually going to be looking for, early game. Something that you're going to build, probably a month or two into the game. Recovery is a great buff to have. Keeps you healed every single turn. And shared damage is another one, and that's what makes Hildegard so good. And Daphne, because they put up a shared damage, which shares the damage between your whole team. So if something is doing huge damage like a boss, if she's one-shotting your units, you put Hildegard on the team, she puts up the shared damage, and then that damage gets spread throughout your whole team, so the boss won't be able to just one-shot one unit. Now, I want to say buffs are important early game, but I think debuffs are more important, early to mid-game. Now, of course, buffs are important too, but I would say increased attack, increased speed, increased mobility, increased defense, and recovery is probably the main buffs you want to look for in your first month of playing this game. And then as you move on, your box is going to get bigger, you're going to get more heroes. Then you can start branching out on these other buffs, like shared damage, invincibility. And obviously, if you pull something that has it, use it, of course. But I don't think it's that important for like the rune dungeons, early game. And as you get into late game, you're going to start speed nuking it anyways. So that's where these debuffs are going to come into play. So I want to keep this video more about debuffs. So we'll go over it one more time, and then we're going to wrap this one up. I don't think I can really explain it any better than this. So early to mid game, you're going to be looking for reduced attack, reduced defense, and continuous damage is your top 3 debuffs that you're looking for early game. And then after that, you can branch out to the reduced speed, reduced mobility, because in dungeons and TOA, the reduced speed and reduced mobility are become really important to have because they're going to slow those bosses down so much. And then the same thing with stuns and provokes and all of that stuff. Then we got this on the bottom here, which is called instant cast effect. And this is something that's going to put this stuff up for you. So like increase attack gauge. Daphne, she's so good. She increases the attack gauge by 70%. That's pretty much giving your entire team an immediate extra turn. So that's why I'm working on my Daphne now, because I feel like she's going to be really good for speed teams. And she's got the increased attack also. So then you can see down here, we click transfer debuff, and then everything that transfers debuffs shows on the left hand side. So we got Thea, we got Igwe, Whitebeard, which everybody kind of hates on, but I don't think he's that bad. I just think a lot of people don't use him or don't really realize how effective he can be with his transfer debuffs. Then you got reduced cooldown, and this pretty much on the bottom here just helps you figure out, you know, what does what quickly. So like if you're trying to steal buffs, you just click steal buffs. Now you got Bunny, you know, you got Whitebeard. Makes it kind of easier just to track these heroes down if you're looking for something specific like steal buffs, copy buffs. Just click it there, shows on the left, see if you have the hero. If you do, build the hero, and then you got what you're looking for. So I think that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this one, guys. Okay, up here on the top before we go, now let's say you're looking for speed. Let's make sure we unclick the bottom here. So you can click speed, and this will show you everything that has a speed lead. You can click all battles, then that'll show you what has a speed lead in all battles. So let's say you're looking for a PvP lead, click PvP battle, then you got your speed. And let's say I'm looking for attack, then it shows you attack. So this is how you weed out your leader skills. There's not a lot of leader skills in this game for certain things. So if you're looking to build a hero that has a specific leader skill, this is the best way to find it. On the top here, it says leader. So let's say I'm looking for a dungeon speed lead. So I'll click dungeon battle, then I'll click speed lead. And as you can see, I have nothing here, which is kind of weird because I think Apollyon has a dungeon speed lead. So it's kind of weird that he didn't show up there because he is a dungeon leader skill. So maybe that's just some type of bug there. So you could just click all battles or just click all in general. This will show you all of the leads, and then you can just click the unit and see what he's leader for. So PvP, speed, same thing. So let's say I want attack and I want dungeon battles. Again, I think there's something wrong with the dungeon battle here because it's not showing anything that has attack for dungeon battles, which I know I have some that have it. So maybe there's something wrong with the dungeon battle thing here. So you kind of just go to all battles or just go to all. Then that will show you all of them. Then you just click on it and see what it's for until they get that fixed. I'll actually send a message to one of the devs on Discord about it because from what it looks like, the dungeon one is not working properly because I definitely have a speed lead. But yeah, just a fast way to find leader skills. So as a lot of you guys know, we have our 1,000 sub giveaway going on, which is a $200 giveaway, 4 winners in total. That video will be down in the description along with my Twitch and Discord. We are growing so fast on both of them. So I'd love to have you guys there. If you want to be a part of the random giveaway, make sure you're subbed to the channel, you're liking and commenting on all the videos to be a part of that. That is the biggest prize we give away on this channel. And I will be picking the winner very, very soon. Plus, we always have the random giveaway going on at all times because I love you guys and I love giving back to you guys. So it's my pleasure to do it for you. As always, I love you guys. I will see you in the next one. Spaceballs out. Peace.